Hello and welcome to Jeremy's Yorkshire allotment adventures on what is a very damp and wet allotment morning. And I'm here in my little, covered growing frame, and this is where I'm growing some cabbages and sprouts for my Christmas dinner, and they're doing really well actually. But the experiment to do with the slugs has not really been quite as successful as I thought it might be. But then, of course, controlling pests without any pesticides or nematodes is quite difficult, and it's always a battle to try and do it in a natural way. So I'm trying my best. As I said last week, one of the ideas was to put tin foil out and put your sliced cucumbers on that, and it would react and give out an odour, a smell to detract the slugs. Well, unfortunately, it's worked the opposite. It attracts the slugs, the cut cucumbers. They climb in and they just eat it, and they've really enjoyed it. Apart from the skin, that's quite an interesting little development. And unfortunately, this caught lots of water, and unfortunately, a couple of the slugs have perished in that way. But what it did do, it meant I could collect the slugs up, believe it or not, and we can get rid of them in a humane way somewhere else nearby. What's interesting is, and there's a few slugs knocking about because it's quite damp this morning, the coffee grounds seem to be working. The slugs don't seem to like them. They don't cross the coffee grounds, which is very interesting. So I think I need to use more of those around my plants. Now, whilst I was in my polytunnel the other day, I noticed that this huge cucumber, which has been just laid around because, well, between you and I do apologise for the motorbike there in the background, between you and I, they don't seem to eat whole cucumbers. They don't even go near them. So I thought I'd experiment. We've got loads still growing on the allotment. I'm picking 2, 3, 4 a day at the moment off some of my plants. And they're so prolific, we can't get through them, and it's really hard to give them away, believe it or not. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to try and place these near my cabbage plants and see whether or not, A, they attract the slugs, or whether they detract the slugs, because they don't seem to go near them. It's fascinating. So experiment number 2, whole cucumbers placed in and around the growing area, and let's just see whether or not the slugs come. I'm going to put some more of these out because actually it acts as a really good slug trap. They come here, I can pick them up and we can get rid of them elsewhere, and so they don't attack the things that I'm growing. Well, I've started to pick the pumpkins. One of the reasons is because, well, the weather's changing, of course. It's getting really damp, and it just means that they'll sit here and rot because there are no more nutrients going through the vines and into the pumpkins, because they've all given up ghost, really, and the leaves are dying off, and they'll be no good just sat there because they will just rot away, and we don't want that. I want these beautiful pumpkins. This is one of the smaller ones, and well, believe it or not, it weighs a ton already. So I'm going to pop this in the greenhouse and I'm going to collect the rest here. And in a moment or two, I'll see you inside. Ta-da for now. Amazing. Well, here I am. Look at this success story here in my greenhouse now. They're going to be in here protected from the weather, and they'll dry nicely over the next week or so when we can really carve into them and make some beautiful Halloween faces. Doesn't seem 2 minutes since last year. I love these two down the front here. These are the ugly ones supposedly, but they've got blemishes on them and they look really atmospheric for Halloween. We've had pumpkins in this country since about the 16th century. They came from France, and they'd of course brought them with them across from the Americas, and they were used in cooking just as we do today. And over the years the recipes have got more refined and more delicate, but they're a very versatile plant. Are they a fruit or a vegetable? I hear you cry. Well, apparently they're a fruit because they've got the seeds inside. Isn't that magic? Well, here are my 5 pumpkins. We're going to talk next show all about what we do with them. Once again, thank you ever so much for watching Jeremy's Yorkshire Allotment Adventures. If you really enjoy the show, tell your friends, keep subscribing, and we'll see you here next time to talk more pumpkins. Ta-ra for now.